Welcome back to Skegness Raceway on the East Coast here on World Semi-Final Day for the brisca Formula 1 stock cars. The 12 qualifiers already sorted for the main event at Bradford Odsal Stadium in September. Still plenty more racing to come though. 2 Consolations coming up to get the last places in tonight's meeting final. So many drivers here tonight. We've had to split the Consolation race into 2. Simon Binder and John O'Brien will lead away the first one. Our names to look out for: Matt Newson, Catherine Harris, Josh Smith in 10191. Sean Webster's out there as well. We saw him crash out in his heat. Mark Woodhull's out there as well, 335. Just some of the names to watch for in this one. Away we go over 16 laps then, with Simon Binder, number 128, the first to show at the front. Power comes on. A couple of novices there we see starting at the back. 492 Ashley Wareham coming through into the lead. She loves the Skegness tracker. Dad Mark is out there in this one as well, number 401. Have to sort themselves out down the home straight. On a tangle there between a couple of blue graders. Ed Neachel, 321, another comeback man, tangling with Tristan Jackson in 101. We're on board with Mickey Randall in car number 172, chasing Jack Ryan in 595 in the Wainman hire car. Gets past him, now going for Richard Bryan, number 238, the car with the smaller wing design there. It's Ashley Wareham, your early leader in car number 492. There's Josh Smith, number 191. Good to have him back in brisca F1. Been racing Rebels for the last few years and winning many titles in those. Darren Clark, another former Rebels racer, a couple of places behind him. Simon Binder in the Daz Kitson car, falling down the order, number 128. They start to sort themselves out. The track has now dried out from the bits of rain we had earlier today. A threat that the rain could return though. The clouds haven't gone away. There's Matt Newson, number 16, knocking Richard Bryan aside. Catherine Harris, number 8, gets through as well. And it's still Ashley Wareham with a clear lead. Richard Burt looks like in second place, number 178. Mark Wareham, Ashley's father, getting the bumper in on Sean Webster, number 48. Had quite a wallop in his heat, tangling with Harley Holton, going into the back straight wall. The UK Open champion. Matt Newson chasing down Mickey Randall, getting the bumper in on Mark Wareham, number 401 there. It'd be great if you could have a father-daughter 1-2 finish here. Missing now Matt Newson, who gets through on the inside past Mickey Randall as well. Newson on the move. It's some bumper from Mark Wareham, very experienced racer. He's been racing in heritage stock cars as well over the last few years. Mark Wacker Wareham, as he's known. Whacking a couple of cars aside there as Sean Webster attacks Richard Burt. Goes through into, I think that's second place. Yes, still Ashley Wareham in the clear. Second place is Burt. 492 Ashley Wareham in the back marker traffic. Mark Cooper, number 204, ahead of her there. Gets through on the inside, chasing Simon Binder as well. Home straight they come. Ashley Wareham, 492, looking for a second win of her career. And Mark Cooper getting the bumper in. What's going on there? Mark Cooper's a lap down, attacking the race leader there. So getting back, I think, into turn 3. Cooper regaining, well, not position, he's just unlapped himself. Ashley Wareham back up the inside. Now here comes Sean Webster, and Cooper's done it again. Takes Ashley Wareham out wide. What's going on here? Sean Webster's going to get through and take the lead. Well, Ashley Wareham will feel a bit aggrieved there, getting a bit of a wallop from one of the back markers. Cooper's there on the inside, he's sliding about there. I think he might have a puncture. Meanwhile, further back, Mickey Randall attacking Catherine Harris, number 8. Yes, Mark Cooper has now blown a tyre. He's getting in a few drivers' way here. The camera car there of Mickey Randall gets through on the inside just about. Catherine Harris has kept going as well. Simon Binder in there, and 191 Josh Smith attacking James Hunt in the 479. Binder gets sent out wide by Hunt. That's allowed Josh Smith through in 191. We're coming up towards the conclusion of this one, though. It looks like it's going to be a win for Sean Webster, making up for crashing out in his heat. Ashley Wareham will be a little bit disappointed. Matt Newson putting the bumper in on the 492. He's going to go through into second place. It's going to be a win for number 48. The man from Sheffield, Sean Webster, won the UK Open here at Skegness earlier this year for his first title in brisca F1. He's coming in to take the win. Second will go to Matt Mad Dog Newson. Webster takes the flag. Newson second. Ashley Wareham hangs on for third. And Paul Carter comes over in fourth place, number 300. I think Richard Burt completing the top 5, the XV8 Hot Stocks man. The rest of them come home. Richard Bryan spins after the flag in 238. Well, interesting race there. Ashley Wareham denied by the actions of a back marker. Sean Webster taking the win by 2 seconds ahead of Matt Newson. Wareham third ahead of Paul Carter and Richard Burt. Then Mickey Randall sixth in his battle with Catherine Harris. Josh Smith eighth ahead of Kelvin Hassel, and Mark Wareham completing the top 10.
Consolation 1 winner, 48, Sean Webster. You've certainly found some form around Skegness this season.
Yeah, car's been going well, so can't complain really.
And it was a hectic Consolation. I mean, there was only 4 places up for grabs, and from the back, you've got to get on with it, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Now, obviously starting from red, I thought I've got to get go at the beginning and get stuck in and get to the front as quick as you can, because obviously you've only got 16 laps to do it in. So yeah, got my foot down.
And now you've got a final coming. You're going to be at the back again, but you're going to have some good company there with you. You've got to get stuck in again now. Yeah,
it's about trying to make a break, really, get on a corner, get a few cars between you and pack, and then you can sort of calm down and try and get away, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm sure everybody, including your fan club beside you there, will be watching carefully.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers.
Thank you.
Consolation number 2 then, a slightly smaller grid for this one. Names to look out for include Luke Davidson and Danny Wainman, who both suffered a few wallops in their heats. John Lund is out there as well, just missed out on the world final. He'll be in the Consolation semi-final. He starts alongside Austin Moore. Tyrone Evans is out there. 392, his twin brother Lewis is there as well. Here we go then with the second of our Consolation events. Just one white grader out there. That's Hannah Chappell. She leads them off ahead of Adam Bamford, number 43. Start to sort themselves out behind. 484's in there. Craig Utley in what I think is the ex-Dan Johnson car, the orange machine there. Dan having now retired from brisca F1, should have been in the world semi-final tonight, but gave up his place. I believe he's now forging a career in autograss racing. 283, Alex Wass there, spins out the 345 of Jake Harry. The else pulling off there to the inside, one of the yellow tops. One of the Evans twins under fire from John Lund. He, of course, couldn't stop winning in the truncated 2020 season. Now up at blue top, both of the twins. Got everything available to them in national mini-stocks. Luke Davidson, 464. Well and truly walloped by Eddie Collins earlier on. Eddie's out there as well, so maybe their rivalry will resume. Here comes 43, Adam Bamford. He takes the lead from Hannah Chappell. And coming through into second is Mark Sargent, driving son Finn's car. Mark Sargent's car had its engine fail in practice, so Finn very kindly donating his car to his dad for this meeting as he was in the world semi-final, and he goes through there, Mark Sargent, into the lead. Mark Sargent, normally we see getting caught up in someone else's accident after 1 or 2 laps of a race, but he's enjoying some better fortune here tonight. Be sure it's not Finn in disguise in the car. I jest, of course. Mark Sargent out front then, the East Coast legend as he's known on his local track. Danny Wainman attacking 392 of Lewis Evans, stymied by a puncture earlier on in his heat, Danny Wainman, caused by Bobby Griffin. Great battle with Bobby and with Junior Wainman earlier on. There's John Lund, 53. I'm sure he'll keep racing for as long as he's able. He swells crowds wherever he goes as well, John Lund. Adam Bamford still there in second, number 43, he's having a good run. Craig Utley up behind them. So in there, Hannah Chappell, improving all the time. I'm sure her first win is not far away in the Tim Warwick car. Luke Davidson gets past her. Got Danny Wainman, John Lund and one of the Evans twins. Even their cars are impossible to tell apart now they're both at blue top. Be getting sent into the fence there. That was Harley Holton, I think, number 414. And Bamford giving chase to our race leader. It's still Mark Sargent in son Finn's car. Finn cannot stop winning at the moment. He's had several final wins this year, looking to get into the shootouts for the National Points Championship at the end of the season. The top drivers play off for the title NASCAR style. Harley Holton still in the wall there at turn 3. He's out of harm's way. We come into the closing stages now. One of the Evans twins attacking the 307 of Hannah Chappell. Then we've got Casey Eggleston behind them, number 120. 6-4 of Luke Davidson, the Skegness specialist, trying to catch the leaders. Like he's up into 5th position now behind Harry Goody, number 316, the former circuit racer in Ford Fiestas, among other things. And into brisca F1 through his friendship with Antwort Niels, the former under-25s champion. A couple of laps to go for race leader Mark Sargent. showing up as Finn Sargent on the timing, but it is Mark in the car, I can assure you. Clear of second place man Bamford, who's coming under fire from Craig Utley. Good to have him back out racing in, say, what I believe is the ex-Dan Johnston car. Yes, there he is, chased by Luke Davidson and Danny Wainman now. We're on the last lap as the light fades here in Lincolnshire. It's going to be a win for 3:26. Mark Sargent, the East Coast legend, is back where he belongs at long last at the top of the results sheet. Bumper going in there from Luke Davidson on Utley as Sargent takes the win. Adam Bamford, I think, held on for second ahead of Utley, and Davidson will confirm the rest of the places in a few moments' time. Well done, Mark Sargent. He'll be very pleased with that. He's had a lot of bad luck this year, but he takes the win over 2.5 seconds clear of Adam Bamford. Utley holding off Davidson for third. Then it was Wainman, Harry Gooding, John Lund in seventh, Lewis Evans, Casey Engelston, and Austin Moore rounding out the top 10.
Consolation 2 winner, 3:26, Mark Sargent, but not in your car.
Technically, my old car. Yeah, no, it's in Junior's car. We blew a piston in practice for the semi. So that's 2 engines in 3 weeks. So that's going to chafe, I think. So, and Finn's good enough to say, Dad, you have it for the semi-final. He didn't get a plan, which they all haven't done, so it doesn't matter. And he said, go out there in the Consolation, you'll win it, Dad. He's got faith in me, so I don't know how many more people have, but he has. He's a very likeable child. He's pulling faces behind me, but yeah, he's just. We've got 1 or 2 fast laps left for a 50-year-old, and we'll took it, yeah.
And one of the nice things was when you went round on your lap of honour, there was such a reception. Finn's here now, look, can you tell? There was such a good reception as you were going round. That was really nice to hear.
Yeah, but he loves a clown, don't they, I think? Yeah, it's local track. It's nice, and it does get to you, you know, even at this age, and every time he wins, it gets to you. It's like I said on the mic, I don't know how many more times I'll do it. But it's the sport, it's the family and everything. It's just the buzz, the Katamari, do you call it? I don't know. Just everything of being part of it. We've never, as a family, had to win. And when you do, it's just really nice, you know, even if it is in your son's car because yours is broke. But it's just a massive family, and I just have been a part of it, and hopefully we can stay a part of it, you know.
And of course that now gives you bragging rights for the forthcoming future till he wins again.
No, I've seen the colour of his wing. No, he's red, he's been on a roll, to be fair, and like I said on there, if he gets to the shootout, then I'll stop, because that's sort of one of the pinnacle jobs he wanted to be at, and we're both in the last chance Consolation semi. If I can get an engine, we'll see. If not, then I'll just push him and support him as much as I can, financially and physically, mentally, and being a good dad, you know, and that's all I try and do.
Yeah, that's it. You'll get as much satisfaction, if not more, from that.
It is, and it does get you every time your kids win. I'll put something on Facebook about it, and there's, I don't know how many 100 comments or something about it, and it's just true. Mick's got it, you know, and Liam and Matt Gilbank have it, Paul Harrison, Brad Harrison, you know, Frank, little Frank, Junior. It's the best feeling in the world. It's like your kid being born again, to be fair, and it does grab hold of you emotionally. Every time he wins, my eyes fill up. Call me a soft old sod, but it's just the best feeling, you know.
Well, that soft old sod's now got to go out and do the final as well, so you best get your brain in gear and get on with it.
Please, you said do it, not win it, but we'll see. No, Junior's back in the seat tomorrow. He's faster than me. I quite accept that. You know, I'm too old now. I soon smell of Vaseline, won't I? But never mind. But we'll take it. And I think Nigel just said it's my 20th win in the Formula One, so we'll take that. Maybe we'll get 21. Who knows?
Well done.
Cheers. Thanks, boys. See you again.
Good old Mark Sargent, one of the true characters of brisca F1, has been for many years. Final time then, and unfortunately the rain has returned. It is rather damp out there, to say the least. Well over 30 cars out there on track for this one, including all the big names we've seen in the heats and the World semi-final earlier on. Watch for Ben Riley, 422. He's a wet weather specialist. He'll go well in this one from the front of the red tops. And can anyone beat Tom Harris? That is the question as we go into this 20-lap meeting final. Ashley Wareham and Peter Nee lead them off. You can see the lack of grip out there as the drivers feed the power in. They're sliding about all over the place, and already we lose a couple out there on the outside of the home straight. Michael Stewart and John Dowson Jr., the yellow graders, just sliding everywhere. Jordan Folding out of shape, the Heat 1 winner. He gets pushed onto the centre by Liam Gilbank. just no grip out there whatsoever. The drivers are going to have to be so careful here. You can see how much slower it is than in the heat. Somebody has spun there. I think that's John Dowson trying to recover. Mr. Bellevue, as we call him. We can't really anymore because sadly Bellevue is no more. On board with Junior Wayman, attacking Paul Harrison and Bobby Griffin, renewing that little rivalry from earlier on. Harrison gets a good shove into the side of Adam Bamford there. Liam Gilbank was caught in there as well. We couldn't see him on the outside. So they start to sort themselves out. Your early leaders, Peter Nee and Ashley Wareham. John Thompson's up there with the leaders as well, number 312. Sparks flying as Simon Traves gets caught briefly on the side of Paul Harrison's car on the Nerf rail there. They slip and slide their way round. Michael Scriven getting caught up there as well with Bobby Griffin. The smoke there from, I think that's Adam Bamford, 43. Mark Sargent looking a bit slow in there, possibly problems for him. Don't tell me I've lost another engine. And Adam Bamford, where was he going there? Takes out Bobby Griffin. Paul Carter, I think, was already in there. Goodness me. Richard Burt was caught up too. We lose John Lund by the look of it. No, that's Michael Scriven, sorry. Similarly coloured car pulling onto the centre. Plenty of mayhem in there. Your leader, I can tell you, is John Thompson, number 312, the yellow grader. We'll pick him up shortly. Tom Harris getting the bumper in on a pair of Wainmans at the same time. Performs a double Wainman there through turn 4 and through up the inside. Junior will fight back on the back of the number 1, but Tom Harris quick on whatever surface he races on, whatever he's racing. I'm sure he'd make a rapid circuit racer as well. He's raced sprint cars in America, the only Brit to ever compete in the famous Knoxville Nationals in the USA, the biggest sprint car event in the World of Outlaws Tour in America every year. He's appeared at the Chili Bowl as well, the indoor midget car event in Tulsa. Out goes Mark Sargent, he's on the centre, the Consolation winner. But it's not been a great race for our heat winners so far. Tom Harris has already secured a front row slot for the World Final. Peter Nee, number 90, trying to attack Matt Newson under fire from Craig Utley in 484. Carl Hawkins, 175 as well. It's halfway, it is the 312 car of John Thompson, who has still got the lead. Bumpers going in there. Tom Harris gets through, gains another couple of places. Junior Wainman still tailing him. Up the lead battle as and when we can. I think according to the timing it's now Sean Webster who's gone to the front. There he is, and he gets a big wallop from Nigel Green, and Green will take the lead in 4:45. Nigel Green takes the lead from Sean Webster, who come through unseen by me into the lead there, but it didn't last long, only a lap or two before Nigel Green put the bumper in, and he is now in front. Wainman and Harris continue to battle it out. You can see the visibility issues in these damp conditions. Peter Nee sent into the fence there by a combination of Liam Gilbank and Joe Nichols, number 242. Craig Utley has got ahead of them as a result of that, now chasing Charlie Sauder in number 5. His dad Mick now having retired from Brisca F1, and Peter Nee spins out, number 90, into the wall on turn 4. It's so slippery out there. Nigel Green attacks Liam Gilbank. Sean Webster on the attack as well, he's still second. Slip and slide their way round. Charlie Sauder chased by the 484 of Utley, chasing Bobby Griffin in 166. He's had a very lively encounter. Michael Stewart behind them in 512. We're in the closing stages now on this meeting final here at Skegness. 2 Grand Nationals to come. The field being split due to the sheer number of cars here, over 70 cars here this weekend. Entry of Brisca F1s we've seen in some time. Nigel Green gets the bumper in on Carl Hawkins to send him wide. Nigel heading for victory in his comeback race. Somebody in the wall there, that's Richard Burt, is tangled with Ben Riley. Now Ben, normally a bit of a rain master, but not in this one. A couple of other cars in there as well. One of them was Richard Burt. We saw a flash of flame from underneath them. Slide their way around. It's getting even more slippery out there. If there's some oil gone down as well. Just a couple of laps left now for Nigel Green. We're on board with Junior Wainman. Hardly see where we are on track due to a combination of the rain and I presume a bit of dirt on our camera lens. It's the Last lap for Nigel Green. He's lapped Charlie Sauder now in number 5, and he is heading for a clear victory in his comeback meeting. Checkered flag is at the ready. Sean Webster attacking Liam Gilbank on the final turn. Green takes the flag. It's been Webster in second. I think Junior Wainman came through for third place. I'm not too sure in there. There were a lot of back markers surrounding them. Somebody else spun out there on the final turn. Lost Richard Burt in 178 on the home straight. But a chaotic race there, mixed up a bit by the wet conditions. And Nigel Green taking the win in 4:45. We'll confirm the result then. Unfortunately, Nigel Green started out of position. He started from red instead of superstar, and so has been docked 2 places behind Sean Webster and Frankie Wainman Jr., Ashley England and Lee Fairhurst completing the top 5.
Final winner, 48 Sean Webster. We said you'd found some form.
Yeah. Obviously, unfortunate hard to win it. I've obviously come home second, but I think they took Nigel out for starting in wrong position or something, I don't know. So yeah, got happy.
And it was a fast final under the lights here at Skegness. It always looks spectacular.
Yeah, well, obviously it was a bit wet at the beginning, but then a dry line appeared, and if you can stay on that line, it's really good. It's like a bit like a roller coaster. It just pulls you around. So yeah, fast.
And we've got another day's racing tomorrow. Are you racing tomorrow as well?
Yeah, racing. Yeah.
Well, there's every possibility we'll be talking again then.
Fingers crossed, hopefully, keep form going.
Well, thank you very much.
On to the Grand National events then, 2 of them, some highlights of our Grand Nationals here. He joined the first of them halfway through with John Thompson, 3:12 in the lead, ahead of Ashley Wareham and Charlie Sauder, but look who's coming up behind them. Number 1, Tom Harris. He wants a second win this evening, moving up to attack Charlie Sauder, puts him into the back of Ashley Wareham. He's going up the inside and he's going to go by all 3 of them through turns 1 and 2. Brilliant bit of driving by Tom Harris, 4th to 1st in a single move there at half distance. John Thompson probably wondering what happened there. He's suddenly down into 3rd place. We move on to lap 14. First lap after a restart at 2:95. One of the Goodwins getting spun out. That's Louis Goodwin, and a big wallop there. Goodness me, Luke Davidson climbs right over Mark Wareham. That was very lucky for Mark. He got hit in the face. Spectacular crash there. 2:95 of Goodwin had been spun out there, Louis Goodwin, and then with a push from Matt Newson, Luke Davidson literally climbs over Mark Wareham. Lucky for Mark Wareham there that the car had a substantial roll cage, the mesh grid on the front window as well. And that was a very spectacular incident, and drivers lucky not to be hurt there. Meanwhile, on the restarts, the familiar sights, because Matt Newson walloped straight in Charlie Sauder on the last bend. Tom Harris came through to win ahead of Lee Fairhurst. Well, that wasn't just a last bend lunge there from Newson. Meanwhile, we move on to the second of our Grand Nationals. Craig Utley and Michael Stewart tangling while fighting for the lead. Richard Burt took over as a result of that, but Ashley England, 3:46, who's had a consistent evening, getting the bumper in to take the lead at half distance. Craig Utley, Michael Stewart and Richard Burt had been having a good scrap for the lead. That all came to a head when Utley and Stewart tangled up and went into the turn 4 wall. Meanwhile, a little further back in the order, Junior Wainman and Bobby Griffin were renewing their rivalry from earlier on, and Carl Hawkins as well. They moved up into the battle for 2nd place, but they couldn't catch 3:46. Ace Ashley England and Blue Raider coming through to take the victory. Junior Wainman taking 2nd ahead of Bobby Griffin. We'll confirm the results of those 2 Grand National events then. Grand National 1 won by Tom Harris ahead of Lee Fairhurst. It was Liam Gilbank in a good 3rd, and Charlie Sauder and Matt Newson surviving that last bend wallop for 4th and 5th. Luke Davidson 6th ahead of Alex Was, Ashley Wareham, John Thompson the early leader, Jack Ryan completing the top 10. And in Grand National number 2, it was Ashley England who finished ahead of Junior Wainman, Bobby Griffin and Carl Hawkins. They had a good scrap. Michael Scriven next home ahead of Simon Traves. Then Sean Webster, the final winner. Austin Moore, Danny Wainman and Darren Clark rounding out the first 10 in Grand National 2. So a very busy night of brisca F1 racing indeed, from one of the biggest fields of the season. Very enjoyable for the large crowd indeed. Congratulations to all those who qualified for the World Final at Bradford. We'll have more stock car racing coming up for you very shortly indeed. But for now, thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.